So the Dodgers are trying to become an American League All-Star team. Not only are they in the front running to grab Shohei Ohtani in free agency, but the reports are right now that they're trying to acquire Mike Trout via a trade. And also, speaking of trades, they're not going to be done with Mike Trout. They want Mike Trout, Shohei Ohtani, and Dylan Cease all on the same roster going into 2024. Must be nice to be a Dodgers fan. Like, I'm a Guardians fan. We just lose everyone. Also, Angels fans, I apologize for what you're about to listen to. Now, before we talk about all of that mess, I do want to give you guys a quick update on the brand new manager of the Padres, Mike Shildt, who is the former manager of the Cardinals. He will be replacing Bob Melvin, so every single vacant managerial position has been filled. Now, I did some surfing on Twitter. I refuse to call X, it is still Twitter, debate a wall, but a lot of Cardinals fans are saying that this is a terrible hire. Now, even though Mike Shildt is a great player-first manager, players love playing for him, he's not the best in-game manager when it comes to who is going to be pitching in the 6th or 7th inning if your starter comes out early, who's going to be the platoon bat. A lot of Cardinals fans were not impressed by his in-game decision making, and that is kind of weird considering he once upon a time won 17 games in a row. So the Cardinals, they were great on paper, so maybe the talent kind of carried them, but maybe he also made some good decisions. What do you guys make of this hire? Cardinals fans, a quick little update. This is kind of a jump scare, but you just signed Kyle Gibson a day after signing Lance Lynn. The Cardinals are just, they're cardinaling right now. Dude's getting $12 million. Okay. Now, before we talk about Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani potentially ending up in Dodger blue uniforms, let's talk about Dylan Cease, who's probably the most likely in terms of being traded to the Dodgers. Now, because the White Sox have a brand new manager who has no personal connections to any of the players on his squad, he doesn't care about trading Luis Robert Jr. or Eloy Jimenez or the guy that we're going to talk about today, Dylan Cease, because again, he's the brand new guy. He is manning the ship. He's going to want to do it his way. Dylan Cease severely regressed in 2023, at least in terms of allowing runs to score. The strikeout numbers, they were still very impressive. He struck out 214 hitters in 177 innings. He was still a workhorse. He had 33 starts. So again, anytime you pitch more than 30 starts, that's pretty solid in Major League Baseball. But back in the day, that's not a lot, according to a lot of old fans. The problem in 2023 was that Dylan Cease became a lot more hittable. He went from a 6.2 hits per 9 in 2022, which is insane. He also had a 2.2 ERA because, again, he was striking guys out left and right, and no one was getting on base via hits. Now, he does walk a lot of guys, but he was kind of the right-handed version of Blake Snell, and in 2023, he was a lot more hittable. I have no idea why. He still strikes out a ton of guys. That's always going to be his thing, but he was essentially Walmart version of Spencer Strider, which, according to the Dodgers, is very, very intriguing. If we take a look at the projected Dodgers pitching staff going into 2024, you have Butane, Walker Buehler. He's finally coming back from all of his injuries. Bobby Miller, a very impressive young rookie in my opinion. I really like Ryan Pepio. Ryan Yarbrough is decent. Emmett Sheehan. I think that Emmett Sheehan can be a little bit better than Ryan Pepio. They also have a guy, Gavin Stone. The thing about the 2024 Dodgers is the fact that they would only have to pay Dylan Cease about $8.3 million, maybe at the most $10 million. And the Dodgers payroll going into the next season is incredibly cheap right now. Now, if you're a Marlins fan or an A's fan or a Guardians fan, $111 million or $113 million in payroll, that's almost like winning the lottery. You just won the jackpot. I mean, I don't think the Guardians have ever spent that much money, at least in my lifetime. They probably spent that much back in '95, and I wasn't born then. On paper, the Dodgers have the 16th ranked payroll. That is almost unimaginable considering the Dodgers are always in the top 5 in terms of payroll, so they have cleared the deck. Of course, they're going to be in the front running for Shohei Ohtani, but if they can combine a Shohei Ohtani in the lineup and then get him as a pitcher in 2025, but in the meantime, kind of fill his role with a Dylan Cease who will be team friendly until 2026, you got to make that trade 10 times out of 10. So because Dylan Cease is fairly cheap considering his talent, the Dodgers are 16th in payroll. Even after signing Shohei Ohtani, whether it's going to be $50 to $7 million, they're still going to have a relatively low payroll according to Dodger standards, so they could afford a Dylan Cease, who again regressed in 2023, but I feel like he's due for a bounce back season. Maybe Trevor Bauer is in play. I have no idea. A lot of you guys have been saying that the Dodgers owe him an apology. They should give him a 1-year contract, but let's say that they say, screw it, let's go for Shohei Ohtani, Dylan Cease, and Mike Trout. What would that trade look like? I just want to remind you guys that Mike Trout is currently in a 12-year, $400, and let's just call it $30 million contract. He is essentially being paid $37 million a season, and I truly believe that the Dodgers could afford Ohtani, Mike Trout, and Dylan Cease, and that would make them a World Series contender without a doubt. Like, in the blink of an eye, they could reshape their future even without JD Martinez. The Dodgers are so good at creating talent in terms of the farm system. Michael Busch, he has a chance to be a stud. stud. Diego Cartaya, he could be really good as well. Gavin Stone, Andy Pages, that guy could be special as well. So the Dodgers, not only do they have capital in terms of money to offer, but they also have prospects to give as well, which is crazy considering they've already given away some of their best prospects in the Trey Turner and Max Scherzer trades. Now, obviously, you're not going to get Mike Trout for Jason Hayward or Gavin Lux. Now, speaking of Gavin Lux, he's going to be back and healthy as well, so that's already an upgrade at shortstop. Miguel Rojas, bless his heart, Ahmed Rosario, they both kind of stink at the game of baseball, but Gavin Lux, he probably will be back at least in the second or third month of the season. So if you can inject Mike Trout into that lineup, yes, you're going to probably have to trade away James Outman, maybe Andy Pages, but Mike Trout in the same lineup as MVPs like Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman. Yes, you do have to give away a top rookie of the year contender in James Outman, but you're going to do that every single time for Mike Trout. And a lot of people are sleeping on Mike Trout. He is still one of the best players in baseball, even when he's kind of slumping. We're talking about a 3-time MVP, an 11-time All-Star. I mean, Mike Trout has a career, I can't even believe I'm saying this out loud, a career 301 batting average and a 173 OPS plus. His worst OPS plus in years happened last year, and he had a 131 OPS plus. So he was 31% better than average while he was having his worst season ever. So if you have a lineup of Mookie Betts, Shohei Ohtani, Mike Trout, and Freddie Freeman, I don't care if you have my grandmother and 4 peanut M&Ms as the remaining hitters in that lineup, you're going to lead the league in scoring. Is it going to cost a lot in terms of your future? Absolutely. You're going to be payroll constricted. You're going to have not the best farm system because acquiring a guy like Mike Trout, who still has a lot of contract years left, it's going to cost an arm and leg, but it's going to be worth it in my opinion, especially if you can use Mike Trout as a kind of manipulative piece to grab Ohtani. Like if you can kind of collude, I mean, I don't know how often people get caught for colluding, but you could tell Ohtani and his reps like, hey, if you come to LA, we will grab your buddy Mike Trout. We'll have the 2 GOATs on the same team one more time, but we'll go ahead and grab Dylan Cease. So we'll have Walker Buehler, Dylan Cease, Bobby Miller, Ryan Pepiot, Emmett Sheehan, a kind of still young and up and coming team. The Angels don't need Gavin Lux, so you can probably plug in Gavin Lux as your starting shortstop at least a month, 2 or 3. You can keep some of your other auxiliary pieces like Max Muncy and all the other guys that you have on the squad, Will Smith. They have guys on the Angels like Logan O'Hoppe. You don't need a guy like Will Smith. So you can keep a lot of your better players, but because the farm system in LA is so prevalent and good, you can make a lot of trades. And if the Dodgers fully say F it and they give Trevor Bauer a 1-year contract on top of Dylan Cease, Mike Trout, and Ohtani, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but the Dodgers payroll is so low, it could happen. To end today's recap, I wanted to show a clip of Ichiro Suzuki, 50-year-old Ichiro, pitching a complete game shutout with 116 pitches against a high school girls team. He had 9 strikeouts. He was throwing 86 to 87 miles an hour. He went 2 for 5 at the plate with a double. So you really don't need Shohei Ohtani. If I'm the Dodgers, I'm saving $30 to $40 million a season. I'm pitch 170 innings, hit 14 home runs, and I'm chilling. That's never going to happen, but how fun would that be? That does it for today's MLB recap. I hope that you guys enjoyed. These rumors are getting a little bit crazy, and I'm sorry that we're kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel, but the offseason has been pretty slow, so hope you guys enjoyed, and catch you in the next one.